Hey guys, welcome back to Angel Angela. And on this topic, I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about how the narcissist basically uses telepathy to control you. So narcissists use telepathy to control you. If you guys don't know what telepathy is, it's basically, two minds communicating with each other. It's an extrasensory perception. So it's seeing, getting information beyond what you see, from one thought from one person to another person without, using any sensory channels as far as vision. It's not something you're seeing. It's like something very magnetic where you're just going to communicate. You feel a deep connection to someone else, and it's almost like your minds are just clicking with each other. Maybe this person has made you feel comfortable with them, and this is why it's very, very important to be careful who you get comfortable with, because that's how easily a narcissist is able to get into your mind and hypnotize you and control you. And it's by literally making you feel comfortable. This is why they love bomb. So the love bomb, that's nothing but a ritual to get into your mind. So when you're going through the love bombing, they're basically putting you through a test, and they're seeing your expressions, they're studying your expressions, and they're studying your every response. They're studying you physically. They're listening to you. They're listening to your responses. They're studying your past. They want to know every little thing about you. Narcissists are those people that they'll stay on the phone all night, all day, trying to get to know you, make you feel comfortable, make you feel like you found a friend or, someone that you can grow with. And this is to get into your mind. That's what the love bombing is for. It's to get into your mind. And once the narcissist gets into your mind, you start having this soulmate feeling. You start feeling like, maybe I could be with this person for a long time. And what you don't even realize is that the thoughts that are coming out of your mouth when you're thinking that you found someone that you can grow with, the moment that you're thinking that, the narcissist implanted those thoughts into your brain without you being even aware of it. And it all started when you were laying up with them, when you were sitting next to them, when you were letting them touch you, when you were kissing them, when you were being intimate with them. The whole time you're with this person is casting spells behind your back. They're sending you messages to your brain. And if you're not conscious, and a lot of times you're not conscious when you're with these people because they have you intoxicated, or they have you, in this high because they're trying to buy your love and your affection. And they're doing things to imprint memories in your mind. And that's part of the love bombing, to get into your mind. And then they use, they use telepathy, and they start sending you transmission messages through your mind. And this is why some of you guys will say that the narcissist will give you like that narcissistic glare, that glare that narcissists give you when you wake up or you go to sleep with them, or, out of the blue, they're kind of just staring into your eyes, and it kind of feels like they're saying something in their minds, or, they stop at the door and, they're watching you, or, you might be distracted with something and the narcissist is spying on you, and they're trying to send messages to your mind without you even being aware of it. So you can be literally at work doing something, and if you have a narcissist around, they're playing tricks with your mind. And if you're not aware of it, if you're not conscious of it, that's how easily they're able to actually tap into your brain. This is why a lot of times you'll notice that some narcissists start bossing you around. They start telling you what to do. And as an empath, you're not really letting them control you. You're just doing it out of the kindness of your heart. But they think that they're in control or they're in power, and you'll see that that power trip will take over them, and if you're not aware of this, which a lot of us aren't aware of this, and when we do become aware of it, that's when we start having dreams. That's when we start having, intuitions, or we're starting to see things that we can't explain, images that we can't explain. And that's because the narcissist was blocking your senses the whole time, and your consciousness, your spirit was trying to wake you up because you have an invader who has invaded your mind. Once a narcissist has tried to basically contaminate you by telepathically importing memories that probably aren't real into your mind, and they're distorting your reality. They're making you look at people in a way that you probably never seen before. Once you allow this person to control you to this level, the only way to stop their control is by going no contact with them. There's no way around this because the person that you're dealing with had bad intentions from the start to control you, meaning that none of it is real. Everything about this person is fake. Your inner self told you to not trust this person, right? Because empaths have the power to transmit messages telepathically. But what happens is that the narcissist takes away that power because, see, the narcissist, they can't completely read your mind. They're studying you based off of what you're saying. They're putting you in a category to other supplies that you probably resemble. They ask you questions. They try to study your family, your friends. And this is how they can kind of come out with a conclusion of what type of person you might be, what type of learner, what type of, partner you might be for them, and how much supply they can take from you because they've studied you, they've asked you questions, and they've even implanted some questions there to see your reaction or how you may feel about those things, to see what boundaries they can cross. So a lot of times they implant things, and if you let those things go, meaning that they've lied to you and you've believed the lie, and you're thinking to yourself, well, this person has nothing to lie to me about. But it's just the simple fact that you're dealing with a narcissist. So to them, it's like you believe everything people tell you. And this is how I'm going to get into your mind without you even realizing it. And now they're telepathically implanting things in your mind for the future. They're giving you a perception of themselves, so that when things start to change, you can change right along with them. Or if you go along with what they're saying, and it seems like you don't have your own mind, the narcissist finds you as a good source of supply because they feel like you're going to be easily controlled, right? Because the narcissist, they're basically searching for people that are going to do whatever they want them to do, and people who are going to be under their control and not really question their motives. So this is why they like people that aren't fully aware of who they are and can't read between their lies. So you're basically dealing with someone who wants you to protect them, whether they're right or wrong. And it has nothing to do with them caring about you. It has everything to do with them trying to control you, because they can easily go after someone who thinks like them, because that person will go along with whatever they have to say. But the thing is that they will never have control over that person, even if that person thinks like them. This is why they need the empath to control. When you don't know your own power, narcissists will come and they will control your power, because, you know, you're giving the narcissist your power freely. So what happens is that you start to think for the narcissist. Everything you want to do is for the narcissist. You don't even know why you're doing it. You don't even know why you're focusing more on this person than yourself. You don't even know when the switch even happened. And that's because they tested you and they were manipulating you. In my case, this person would touch my third eye. They would like rub on it before I even knew what a third eye was. So this was something that let me know that this person was deliberately trying to take away my power, because my intuition was always right. Like when your intuition is telling you that person's a predator, or stay away from that person, or you shouldn't talk to this person anymore, or this person's a liar. Your intuition will just start going crazy, like warning you, but you'll ignore it. You'll ignore it. And I know this now because my intuition now, it's to another level. I'll still have those thoughts in my head that are telling me to stay away from someone, but I feel energy. I feel vibrations. My ears will start vibrating. I can, I start feeling through my body telling me stay away from that person, or hey, it's time to become alert. It's time to come into your body and become self-aware, because there's something near you that is watching you. There's someone near you that wants to get into your mind. So, when you're dealing with these people, you're not practicing being intuitive, and you're not focusing on the fact that you can transmit messages, through your minds with people, because it's almost like you're not conscious all the way, because you're communicating with people. And when they look into your eyes, they can tell that you're being controlled by someone. Most narcissists can tell when someone is being controlled by someone. And a lot of times they feel like if they can come into your life and gain control over you, then many people have controlled you in the past. And that's just how they view empaths. And, empaths are so giving, so loving, that you're just freely giving your power to these people. So what the narcissist will do is they will tap into your intuition. They will throw you off. Then they will start transmitting messages into your mind, or implanting messages. They'll start saying things to you repetitively. They'll tell you what they don't like repetitively. They'll set up little things that they say so that in the future, when things get blown out of proportion, they can go back to the beginning and tell you, hey, remember when I told you this? So they're messing with your perception. That's what makes the empath feel almost out of control, because you're like, I'm not in my right mind. And you're not in your right mind because you're surrounding yourself with someone who they don't want to become one with you. You're thinking you're becoming close to this person so that you can be able to have a special bond with them, where you can transmit messages to each other. You can protect one another in case there's a predator around. But in this case, you're falling for the predator. And you're falling for the predator. It's literally like the Little Red Riding Hood, and you're falling for this wolf, and what the narcissist does once they transmit these messages is that they control you to uplift them. They use you as a shield. The empath is used as a shield. Because see, the narcissist, everything that they think is evil, right? A lot of times they're attracted to other narcissists, but what they do is that they use the empath to block karma. So all those messages, all those people that are trying to get them karma, basically, for the things that they've done. You're blocking those transmission messages. You're blocking it. You're standing in the way. It's almost like saying a mama bear and she has her baby cubs with her and there's a predator. She's going to stand in the front to make sure she lets that predator know, you're going to have to go through me to get to my kids. And even if you want my kids, you're going to have to go through me. And by the time you go through me, they're going to be far gone, or it's going to be over for you, because now I'm going to transmit these messages to the cub's dad, the cub's father. And, I've already transmitted these messages to the child's father, meaning that even if you kill me, my children and that child's father know who you are. Whether you like to accept that or not, our minds have connected already. Our energies have connected already. And this is why you'll bump into people, or the narcissist will go through karma, or they're running away from karma, and they'll bump into certain people because you're blocking that karma, but they'll bump into certain people and they'll tell you about it. And it's almost like they're on thin ice where they know it's coming, but they know that you're blocking it. So when karma starts to hit you, they know that there's only a matter of time that they have with you, because eventually you're going to wake up, because you're going to realize that this isn't normal, right? So eventually you come into consciousness because you're like, hey, I'm getting bad karma for dealing with this person. This person's all inside of my mind. They have me feeling crazy. I can't trust my own thoughts sometimes because they have me out of my comfort zone. I feel like I'm on survival mode. And when you're on survival mode, now you're literally in consciousness now. Now you're paying attention to everything. Now you're super alert. Now when the narcissist starts to get aggravated, you start to jump up. Like, you're timid. You're afraid. And it's not so much you're afraid, but now you're realizing that you're dealing with a predator. So now you're alert, right? And once you become alert, now you can read that predator's mind. See, the narcissist cannot read your mind. They're looking at you like a prey. They're studying you. They're like hunting you down like you're an animal. But they can't technically read your mind. This is why the narcissist uses you as a shield, so that people cannot read their mind, because they really can only tap into people who are like them. Because people who are like them, you almost have to look at them like the same type of species, right? So you're an empath is a whole different species compared to the narcissist, because the empath wants to do good. You're that person that there's a balance between good and evil, but you're choosing to be good, right? So the narcissist, they've chosen, to be bad. They feel like that's their role, and they feel like they came into your life for a reason. Like it should be a blessing that they woke you up, and that things basically could have been worse, right? So when I realized this, I've shared this many times, that, me and the narcissist were in the car, and I realized I was finally in my, my spirit was completely there, and I was watching everything like a movie, and I realized that the narcissist couldn't read my thoughts. Like the more into consciousness you come, the more the narcissist loses that grip, right? and they can't read your thoughts. So they can only come into your mind if you are willingly accepting of it, right? If you're giving them permission, they can tell when they don't have that control anymore. And this is why a lot of times it's not fun anymore, because now they're like, I'm afraid of you because you're probably going to try to deliver my karma like the rest of the people that have been trying to get me telepathically, but you've been blocking them. You've been standing next to me. This is why the narcissist spends a lot of time with their supplies. You know, if you're the primary source, secondary, it doesn't really matter. They cannot be alone. When they're alone, you know, they want to be alone a lot of times, but they really cannot, because that's when karma starts striking them down. Like, they can literally tell themselves, I'm not going to leave my house, and karma is just going to keep striking them down, you know, because there's no one there blocking that communication. You know, they have direct channeling, so they can channel that person right away. You know, they can put curses on the narcissist. And this is why the narcissist will even tell you, you know, these people are trying to kill me, because they know that they're running away from that energy. And I knew that moment that I was in that car and me and the narcissist, you know, started having a conversation telepathically. And he was just kind of like, stop doing that. And I was like, no, you stop doing that. We were like busting up laughing. Like, it was like the funniest thing, right? But I didn't even realize how serious it was at that moment, because he's laughing. We're both laughing. But he probably thought it was even more funny, because to him it was probably like, oh, she's awake. She's fully awake. And, you know, that narcissist kept trying to put me to sleep, and I just wouldn't go to sleep. So that's when they become afraid of you. And a lot of times they'll start going through karma in front of you. And they won't show you that they're going through karma. They won't even show you that they're upset. They don't want you to see them sweat. They want to be the only ones to put fear onto you. They don't want you to see the fear that they feel inside. But as a telepath and as an empath, you can feel what they're feeling. You know, you can feel what they're feeling. And a lot of times they'll deny how you feel about them. You know, you'll know that there's a dark side to them. But they think that you don't know the extensity of that dark side. But once you become conscious, your mind, because you've been around that narcissist for a while, and because now you're coming into consciousness, what happens is that now you've unlocked every portal that narcissist has. So you know exactly what that person thinks, how they feel, their deepest secrets. And if you bring it, if you have a thought in your mind that's telling you something about this person that you probably shouldn't know, the narcissist is going to deny it. They're going to deny it, and they're going to now feel like they're naked right in front of you. They feel like they're naked, like you can see through them. They feel like you know all the secrets that they've been hiding from you, you know. And this is why a lot of times they'll keep trying to deceive you, but it just doesn't matter how much they try to deceive you. You can tell that everything is fake. So eventually, you're going to see them for who they really are, you know, and you're going to see right through them. And the reason you weren't able to see through them is because they were taking your energy from the start. They had gotten into your mind, and because of that, you were using your power, your energy, to warn the narcissist about their surroundings and future events that would happen to them. You were the one guiding them. You were the one telling them things that they shouldn't be doing. You were the person that was giving them sense, because you're in tune with all of your senses. You know, if you're clairvoyant, you know, whatever senses that you're in tune with or you have mastered, the narcissist will see that, and that will scare them, because to them, even if they've you know done a lot of things to you, even if they've done a lot of things to you, they know that that karma is coming. So a lot of times what happens with past supplies is that it kind of takes them a while to figure the narcissist out. And a lot of times these people don't figure the narcissist out until they're gone. So when you're able to become in tune to that point, even to the point where now I started to see his aura, his dark aura. And I started to point it out to him. And it was something that he already knew he had. He already knew he had that dark aura. He wasn't even surprised about it. He was more surprised and really studying me, wondering how I was capable of seeing these things, right? When other empaths that he had been with hadn't seen those things. And that's because the narcissist is constantly running away from karma. And sometimes you actually become the karma, because you end up reflecting back onto them everything that they've tried to do to you and what they've done to others, and why they're going to have to pay the ultimate price. And I remember my inner self told me to ask the narcissist. It was like God was using me. And, after I seen his aura, the shadow around him, God told me to tell him, whose side are you on? And he said to me, I think you know whose side by now. And he was looking at me in my eyes, and I was looking at him in his eyes. And it was like that first time I kind of realized that he was a real entity. Like I had to stop looking at the physical form, because the aura that I was seeing was who he really was. And it was like he had finally seen, that I could see through him and many other narcissists like him. So it's like he knew that I knew my power, and that he couldn't tap into my mind anymore. And I remember seeing like a dark shadow, running through the window. And I remember thinking to myself, like, you can't save this narcissist from their karma, because they've been doing this for a long time, to the point that they don't feel any guilt or any shame from being serial cheaters or whatever, abusers, mentally, verbally, physically abusive. They don't see anything wrong with that. If these people are serial killers, they don't see anything wrong with that. Narcissists are people that have repetitively went through certain type of cycles, and because of those cycles, they keep replaying and reenacting those same events in many different ways, and it becomes more and more diabolical. And this is why they don't feel bad at all, because it's something that has become so normal to them that to them they don't see anything wrong with it. It's like it's not a big deal. So for someone to do that, repetitively, to get into people's minds because they're being tormented, and they don't have any remorse for tormenting other people because of their own, inabilities, that lets you know that this person has committed that same behavior over and over and over again. And you might think to yourself, it might have just been a couple times before you, but the fact that they're that addicted to causing pain lets you know that they've done this to people maybe several hundreds of times. Like sometimes we want to think to ourselves like they did this maybe like to 4, 5, 6, 8 other people. But in actuality, they've done this to at least hundreds of people. And what happens is that they search for people who do not know themselves completely in order to take their power. So they look for people who are, in distressed situations, people that can't think clearly, who have a lot of problems or a lot of drama in their life, or people who might feel lonely. They target those type of people because they want to be able to make you feel like they are that person you can rely on or you can trust, even if they haven't even gave you reasons to really trust them for the long run, but them coming into your life, they come into your life trying to soothe you. But when they do that, their whole motivation is to tap into your mind, into your psyche. So, this is something that I've learned, even with my pets. I can communicate with my animals telepathically, and, they're like people. People can communicate with each other without having to talk. You can tell when someone's in pain or someone's, angry, or someone is dealing with something. And as an empath, the more and more you become intuitive, you can actually get down to the details of what that person is going through, or you can see images that empath might be seeing. They can teleport those images to your mind, and you can see what they're seeing, and that's because they're an empath like you. And when it comes to predators like narcissists, you'll have, your sensory system your alarm will go off, and you will realize that same alarm that is going off is the same alarm that went off when you met that narcissist. Only that at that time, you weren't conscious. You weren't completely conscious, and you didn't know what tools the narcissist uses to make you feel comfortable, to the point that you're so relaxed that you're not even realizing that you're dealing with a total predator who's trying to tap into your mind in order to control you. And this is why when you meet these type of people, they want to do drugs, they want to drink right away, because they're trying to get into your mind. So it's something to think about. And, I hope that this message was helpful for you and your healing, because it's something that, I really had to learn. And it took me a long time to get out of that brainwash, that mind spell, because by the time I realized it, I was having a full-blown conversation with this person telepathically. And that's when I realized, how important it is to be careful who you surround yourself with, because you don't know what that person's true intentions are if you're not listening. If you're not listening, not just with your ears, but with your eyes and your mind, So I'm sending you guys lots of love. If you guys enjoyed this, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you guys want to book a session with me, my booking information will be on the description. Just give me 24 hours to respond to you. And, I'll talk to you guys on the next podcast. Sending you guys lots of love, light, and peace. Bye.